Welcome back to Dirt to Daytona, folks. Little upset. I actually ran probably 80% of this race, looked over to see how long I had been recording for, and I never hit the record button. So that sucks. Good news, we did well, which only should carry over. I did have to walk away for a couple days because after driving nearly 2 hours for nothing, was a bit annoying. Anyway, though, gonna get out here, hopefully still have kind of somewhat of a, I don't know, groove or whatever. Hopefully we're just kind of in that mode still and we can put together a good qualifier and put together a solid race. One way to find out. We'll see you at qualifying. Well, I should have probably practiced. Whatever. All right, here we go down the front stretch for our qualifying lap. Hopefully we can roll this corner pretty well, come out of it decent. I felt all right as long as we don't take the wall. Ooh, so close. I was all in. Then I was like, you know what? If we take the wall, that's it. We take the wall, and I kind of messed up this corner because I did end up sliding on the wall. That's weird. It's all right. Should be a good lap, and it's amazing. That was an unbelievable lap. I was going to say fantastic. That was amazing lap, actually. Yeah, that was fantastic. Let's just repeat this 150 times.
Hello, I'm Alan Bestwick, and welcome to Loudon, New Hampshire. At a distance of just over a mile, this squared-off oval has seen some fantastic finishes in its history. Over 100,000 people attend each race, coming from nearby Boston, Providence, and all of New England to see the action at New Hampshire International Speedway.
It's set. The race is going green. There's the green flag.
Why did my car fade like that before I even got control? That was weird. And then, of course, we shifted a bit late, but I think we'll be all right. Yeah, we'll be fine. Oh, crap. Actually, we might not. I had to do a little something with the analog, and now we got Rusty Wallace and Kurt Busch right there. Oh, yeah. I touched the apron before the first lap was even over, but we managed not to lose the car. That would have sucked. I'm driving it too far in, yes, I know, but I can do that early on and get a nice lead, which is my whole point to it. I am aware that I'm overdriving the car right now. I'm also aware that I won't be able to maintain something like that because it'll burn the tires right off the car before we're even done running our, what do we got, 48 in the tank, 150 lap race. Maybe it's, I think that we get 50 with the savings. I just want to get to a point where we're at least have enough of a lead to start to drive a little more normal. A lot of it has to do with how can I roll these corners properly, drive off, get a good drive off, where we have a lot of speed coming out, so we're not getting caught on the exit. Or whatever we can do here, just to put a gap between us and the cars behind us, but we also have to maintain the tires, which so far tires aren't getting too hot, so that's good. See if we can try to figure out if I can do a little better with the gas, the trigger on the controller. Just keep feathering it like I do with the controller for now. Played a couple other games recently, racing games, and was just testing stuff out, so I was using my controller, and of course more modern games. It's a lot more sensitive, barely touching the gas. You get something, and as I've said, probably out of the 160 plus races we've done, I've probably said it 112 times, I have a really big dead zone in the trigger, and I have the dead zone completely turned off in the configuration of the PCSX2 emulator, so it's not really, there's nothing more I can do for it. I wish there was. I just think it has a lot to do with the fact that normally the gas pedal on this is either the A button, well, I don't know what it is on the PlayStation, but the bottom button is, I think that's the triangle button, isn't it? Maybe that's, I don't know. come to think of it. Anyway, or the right analog stick up and down. And I actually reconfigured it in the emulator to have the right analog stick and left analog stick be the right and left trigger. No, the right analog stick up being the right trigger, the right analog stick down being the left trigger. So that emulates my gas and accelerator, throttle, whatever you want to call it. And so I think part of that being just the range is different between that and this. The normal setup in this one, so that might be a big part of it. I mean, we've done almost an entire series this way, but here I am at the end of the series just trying to find ways to improve. I did talk to someone about the steering wheel, the car and truck and that in NASCAR Heat 5, how when I'm going down the straightaway, and you guys will see it, because I can drive the truck just fine. That way, it's just kind of weird and annoying. It's got a wobble. The steering wheel doesn't. The truck has the wobble. And I'll have to take a look and see if maybe there's something in the setup that I can... I've read some stuff where it might actually be a setup issue, not the actual steering wheel. I know it's not my steering wheel because I've played 4 other racing games in the last couple weeks, or driving games in the last couple weeks. And that was the only one that I had issues with. The steering, going down a straightaway, there's like a death wobble. And if you don't hold on to the steering wheel the entire time firmly, while you're going down the straight, the truck will wobble completely out of control. So it's kind of annoying. Like when I'm running other games, if I'm going down the straight, I can do other stuff at that point. Like if I need to check statistics or look at tire wear and things like that, I can press the buttons and pay attention to that. And in NASCAR Heat 5, I seem to have to really focus on not having it wobble out of control. So I'll do some things. I'll check, maybe add a big dead zone so it isn't so apparent to me, and that'll just be weird, but we'll find out what I can do. I also watched other people recently race the game with different steering wheels, which I'm not going to get a different steering wheel, but they don't have that problem. So it's weird that it would be the wheel, simply because T300 base is a pretty standard wheel base. So I know someone with a G920 that runs it completely fine without that issue at all. So it's very curious. What are we looking at here? 36 in the tank. We've got a 3.2 second lead. We've got no cars in front of us, and we can't even see the cars behind us. So let's go ahead and do that first speed up. And we'll be back on the mic with you when the first caution comes out, or when we're pitting for the first time. We're going to go ahead and pit with the 18. We need to pit. We're in a bad spot here. When we hit the apron, we got back up on the track. We tried to go right in the middle so cars could go around us, and we got clipped in the back end, and I'm okay with it. The caution didn't come out, but the car is pretty trashed right now. Gonna get a lot of takers in just a second here. Jump on the track just a little bit early to get in front of Labonte. We're in 28th place, probably a lap down. 10 out of 10 says we're a lap down, but that's all about to change. The number of cars had their flags waving when we got off. Oh, we're actually not a lap down. We are on the tail end of the lead lap. There's Kenseth. Here comes Busch. He was leading. Well, him and Labonte were right next to each other. We came out with Labonte. We dropped those spots for just a little bit. And that was all right. We were damaged. And I needed to finish driving the...
Clear low.
I needed to finish out the run. And we did. And instead of having a giant lead at the end of our run, we do end up with a lead.
Still there.
Steve Park and Spychala here are the two cars that they'll probably pit this time around. Yep, they're both in line to pit. Well, maybe not Spychala. Oh, there he goes.
The car head is pitted.
So we're just going to sneak right in here. And my expectation is that we're going to come out of this lap with the lead. Ooh, Elliott Sadler's still out on the track with an 8-second lead on us. Interesting. All right. Well, we just need to keep it off the apron this run. We'll be all right. Robbie Gordon in front of us. I have a feeling we're about to put a couple cars a lap down. We were already lapping a number of cars. There goes Elliott Sadler, so we'll get to the line in the lead. We'll lead that lap. We have put a number of cars down a lap already. And then, of course, with the damage, that halted. We didn't give up any spots to cars that we had lapped with the damage, but we certainly lost the ability to drive around and pass these cars. So thankfully, we've got this going now. And only a 1.3 second lead on Labonte, but as long as this stays green, we'll have a lot of traffic around us. That'll always be helpful when it comes to driving around these cars. They have to drive around them as well. So the good news there is the potential that we get to put some space between us, not because we're overdriving the car, but because that's tight. But because we're able to put some of the lap cars between us and them, almost strategically. So if I can get in front of Andretti without contact. There we go.
You're all clear.
I mean, we were dominating prior to that damage, so I just have to pay attention to not put it down on the apron. That's really the biggest part. No apron contact, and we'll be completely fine. Whoa. Why would Borland look like he was about... Did you guys see it? It looked like he was about to turn right for a second. That was very weird.
You're all clear.
I'm going around him on the outside, and all of a sudden it looked like he was going to drive up the track into us. I messed that up. This is the type of stuff where if we can get around these cars...
All clear.
Let me see if I can just fit right in between here. We can get around these cars. Second place, and that might not be able to.
Stay low. Still there.
That's
Clear
also
high.
a spot where I risked touching the apron again, because I really did just get close to it. We got away with that one, I think. Well, obviously, we got away with it. We're not trashed, so that's good. Got 2 seconds in front of Labonte now. As we continue to go around some of the slower traffic. Actually, some of the slower traffic that was involved in our issues when we did hit the apron earlier. I know Echo River was involved with us. I'm pretty sure he was. I know Bobby Hamilton right up here was involved with us. We were lapping him, so we're probably about to put him a second lap down, if not a third. Just a little
Stay high.
little
Still
contact
there.
here with John Wood as we get to his fender. Hold him tight inside and
Still
get around
there.
him on the
You're all
outside.
clear.
Looks like second place might have gotten caught up behind all that pile as we now got a 3-second lead. It's a big deal for us. Like to get around Hamilton, Mack, and Atwood pretty quick here, and then we got some smooth sailing. It's looking pretty good for us right now. But you know how that can change with a caution, which we don't want to have happen anyway, but you know it can change with a caution. No cautions in this race so far.
Stay high.
Knock on
Still
wood.
there. All clear.
We've gotten around the track 58 times. Unfortunately, I honestly don't think I've ever run a race where we've gone more than 60 laps in the first, before we get our first caution. I don't know if that'll happen in this race. There seems to be a lot of spread between us and the other cars. Everyone got on and off of pit road all right. That's nice too, because this is a track where you got cars going around the corner and you got guys coming off of pit road that are kind of running up on that yellow line a little bit. We do have one car out with damage. I don't know if you saw it in the speed up, but Dale Jarrett, his engine was on fire when he went into the pits. We've got almost a 5-second lead on Labonte. We've got a 7-second lead on Kenseth, and back just keeps going up. It's nice. We've always done well at New Hampshire. We did very well in the open wheel cars at New Hampshire. Then we did well with the trucks. And we continue doing well in the hardest of the Cup Series with everybody up to Legend. Well, everyone's always been at Legendary, but they're actually living up to that skill set at the end of, or at this season, as they've all fully upgraded as well. We continue to show our dominance as this race, win 13, will actually achieve our $1 million sponsorship goal. We need 13 wins this season. Well, we got 31 in the tank. Obviously, again, not much going on. So we're going to go ahead and speed things up again for you. We've only been doing 3x speed up, so it's just kind of not much of a speed up. But it's music and just watching the race without me talking, because I don't have anything to say when there's nothing going on. We're just running this race. Trying to come out here, get another victory at New Hampshire, get that 13th victory on the season, achieve our sponsorship goal, and continue our dominance overall this season, which is a big deal, because these cars are no slouch in comparison to what they've been previously. We'll be back on the mic with you. Caution or pitting?
Still there. There's a wreck in turn 1. The yellow's out.
Caution flies, wreck in turn 1.
Pace car's out.
We'll come through here, get around. I don't think we actually got around Labonte. We still got 18 in the tank. But what you don't realize is there's 70-something left. We'd have to pit twice anyway, so we might as well pit now, and then we'll pit with more laps than we normally would have. And we'll be back with you after the caution.
Get set. The race is going
Hold on
green.
one moment.
There's the green flag. Still there. Car low.
Rusty Wallace and
Car low.
crap, someone else were involved in the caution, which is why Wallace is behind us, because he pit.
Car low.
This isn't like Bristol where I can just drive around them, so I should kind of probably chill out for a second. Why would I do that, though? That makes too much sense.
All clear. Car low.
Just gotta pay attention to what I'm doing here, because this is
Car low.
scary. Tony Stewart kind of screwing up right there. That's going to cost us some spots. Or a spot, I should say. Is that 4? Do we have 4 wide?
Car low.
All right. Well, let's follow Rusty. Oh, we got flames coming out of Echo River.
The yellow's
He's
out.
not going to make it around. All right. I feel like that's going to put it... Well, it might not. It might not put a bunch of cars on the lead lap because...
Still there.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. We're going to get around the inside here. We're going to brake late so that we can be in a better position. We get tapped by Burton. Thank you, Burton. We were just fine until you decided to do that. No big deal. And
Clear high.
come out in 10th. We'll stay on the track. No reason to pit until we have to pit later. If we had 50 left in the race, I'd pit because it'd be the last time. But we don't, so we'll just stay out this time.
Get set. The race is going green. There's the green
Here
flag.
we go again. Thinking that...
Clear low.
Oh my goodness, please stay there. Oh wow, this couldn't go worse when I messed it up at the end, but it was going fantastic in the beginning. We're in the lead. Those cars pit, which we knew they would. Unfortunately, they got to pit under caution, which sucked for me because that would have been awesome if they didn't get to. I don't know how we just kept up enough speed coming around that corner when we hit the apron, but Chris Enoch is a bully. He should be in a double or single digit car. He races strong. He races like a bully. He pushes me around when I'm around him. It's pretty awesome in a not very awesome way. Honestly, though, he drives better than the car he has. I'll say that much for him. And I've talked about it before on the track. He is absolutely the car that is not intimidated by the better vehicles around him. What's good for us, though, is that nobody else got that big run on the inside like we got, and we got out to a humongous lead, and they're all still behind. Looks like Robbie Gordon, Hermie Sadler, and Chris Enoch. Rusty Wallace is there, but almost 2 laps down, or 2 laps, almost 2 seconds down already, so feels pretty good. 33 in the tank. What do we have left in the race? 60. We need 12 to go by before we care if there's another caution. If there's a caution with 48 left, we pit for the last time. Anything under 48, we pit for our last time and we're good to go. Cautions seem to breed cautions, though. We had the one caution, and then Borland blows his engine. Not Borland, sorry. Park blows his... Not Park either. Echo River blows his engine. Someday, I will learn my drivers. You know, it's only been, what, 90 races or something. There's like a total of 96 races that I have done. So I think we're at race 86. I think we only have 86 or 80. This might be race 87. I think we only have 9 races left in this series. That is crazy. I cannot believe that when I filmed this series the very first time, I did it with less laps And of course, I never finished it. I got to like midway through season 1 of the Cup Series, and we just didn't learn what we've learned here. We've learned so much here. Oh, Rusty Wallace got around him, and there he's right behind us. Everyone else is 5 seconds back. We learned so much racing the endurance length in this series, and just learning how to accept what we have and drive the car. You know, of course, in our first season, and that happened in every series, you drive the car harder than you should. You overdrive the corners. You do whatever you can to get the best position you can at the end. You waste the car. But then once you get higher up and you're fighting for actual lead, you learn that you have to accept what you can get, drive the car, not panic when you don't have the best car out there. Let the race do what the race is going to do, and put yourself in the best position at the end to win that race by still having a car. And that's kind of what we've learned. Now, we mess up. We mess up all the time. We're driving a game. We're racing. And we'll mess up even when we're with the steering wheel in the NASCAR Heat 5. We'll mess up if we ever go to iRacing. It's just going to happen. But I want to hope that some of the tendencies we've learned, some of the things we've learned when we're behind other cars and racing around with the other vehicles on the track, I hope it translates over to those other games to where we began. Think back to, for those of you OG who have been here since the beginning, or those of you who has seen my early races and now you're up, you know, watching these current races or whatever. Think about the Dirt Series, and I know you say, well, it's the Dirt Series, you're going to run into people, but probably not. If I went back to the Dirt Series right now and ran the races, I guarantee I'd run them differently than I ran them in the beginning of this series. Same thing goes back to punting the cars with the featherweight cars, get up behind somebody, not brake when they brake, bump them, run them up the track, run myself, damage my car, whatever it was. A lot of foolish mistakes that put us in really bad spots in that part of the career. Getting the Truck Series, again, it took a long time for me to learn how to, especially on short tracks, not just blast through the back end. We've been running this now. We're in our 3rd season in the Cup Series, and I'd say for the last 2 seasons, we've gotten really good at not just driving up into the back end of people when you can help it. Let me also say that it's not, you can't always help it. You're in a bad spot and you slam on the brakes and it's just too late, you know. Especially on a short track, you're more concerned. You'd rather run into the back of somebody medium by slamming on your brakes and tapping them or maybe pushing them but not spinning them out, rather than get absolutely blasted from behind for hitting the brakes early, and then when you get hit from behind, it loosens up the car. When you hit from the front, it seems to tighten up the car. That's what I've noticed in this game. And so I think I'd rather have my car get a little tight rather than breaking loose every time I'm going around the track. But I'd rather have it neither. I'd rather just not have damage on the car. So I think we've gotten a lot better there, and hopefully that translates to our new series, and we're able to put down even more quality racing in those other series where, especially when we start with a car that doesn't have maybe the best stats on the car when we're running our own teams.
That was a great lap.
And then that was a fantastic lap. What's my best lap ever? Oh, 27. Okay, 29.027. Anyway, though, get to the point where we are able to do better with that. Well, we start in the Truck Series, so do better with that truck than we would have had we not raced this entire series and learned what we learned in this game. I'll tell you, running even in Forza Motorsport, I drive differently with that game now, more so than I ever have before playing any of those games. The way that I've driven to beat people on they're all road courses, but I shouldn't say that. There is one oval that I've come across so far. But, anyway, hoping, or the way that I'm able to drive around, beat cars on corners and not run through them, but beat them in the corner and actually drive the car right on exit so that I'm not using them to get around a corner, which is a real cheesy way to do it in a video game versus what you would do in real life, which is probably, I mean, granted, cars do have contact all the time in real life, but the goal is not to do that. And in that game, when you have contact, if it's avoidable and you have it turned, you have the difficulty turned all the way up, it's actually, you get penalized for it. So I've learned so much just from this game that it's already translated over just the way that I race in other games. And that's kind of my point. If I'm going to go to iRacing, I want to have the best etiquette. And not that my final goal is iRacing. It may end up being that way, and that may end up being something I stream instead of record, and then just take the stream and edit the stream and put it into YouTube like Matt Malone does. But my main point is that I want to make sure that I have learned so much against AI cars who don't get mad at you. Well, at least they don't get real world mad at you when you run into them for doing something stupid. Like, if I went into iRacing, and like I said, I've ran iRacing, but I was so scared that I just avoided people, but I also don't think that I drove as well as I can drive because I drove scared. So I was real timid, had a hard time passing people because I really didn't know what I was going to do to get to someone's fender. Once I got up to him, maybe I drove really well because I had a bubble, and I caught up to the car that was in front of me, but I didn't know how to pass them. And now I feel like I'm confident enough to do that. Also, I feel a lot more confident being behind another car, like I just was here, coming off a corner, being behind them, not slamming on my brakes in fear of tapping them, knowing other cars' braking points, just things like that. That if I'm gonna go and race against real people in the simulation, in the simulator, in iRacing video game, I will want to make sure that I have all the etiquette down that I need, so that no matter what I'm doing on a track, it's not my fault that I'm wrecking or that I'm wrecking other people. If it can be helped. Even the best race car drivers out there cause accidents. It happens. It's not, But I don't want to be one of those people that's always apologizing for running into people on the track, because at some point you have to realize that you suck at driving and you need to stop being in those races, because you are spending more time apologizing for running into people and ruining their day than you are racing those people and gaining their respect on the way that you drive your car. I want to be, if I'm going to iRacing, I want to be respected in the community for being a clean racer. And I'll be honest, when I did race in the truck series, before I was that, I actually did run into somebody, and I sent them a message after the race to their inbox and apologized to them. And they had sent me a message back and said they had raced with me before and they knew I wasn't that kind of driver, so, they knew it was just a racing thing. And that's the kind of driver I want to be. First of all, I want to be the driver that it happens so rarely that it's not that big of a deal for me to send a message saying I'm sorry, and I have no problem admitting when it's my fault. But also I want to be the driver that when I do send that message out, people know that it was a racing deal, or it was truly an accident, and I'm not the type of driver that is out there causing havoc. So having said a lot of that, it all started with Dirt to Daytona. I may eventually, once I'm done with NASCAR Heat 5, I might jump back, depending on when we're done with it and how far away the iRacing, because that's not coming out until 2025, how far the iRacing console game is from coming out. But we'll probably, I'm considering going to like NASCAR Thunder 04, maybe, for the rival system. Because that's a true test right there, where when you do screw up, you have people that are horrible towards you. So that might be a little fun to do. And I would do stuff with the graphics on that game like I did with this game, because I'd be running it on the same emulator. But, this just assures that no matter what's going on, I'm always going to have content to put out in the racing world, mainly NASCAR. I love road course racing. It's a lot of fun. I've said it before, a lot of what I focus on in road course racing, obviously, is you're focusing on the track. You're racing the track, and once you're really, really good at the track, then you have to learn how to get around the cars that get in your way because you're so good on the track. So that's kind of one of those things where right now I might end up, and I said it before, I might eventually just drop some other races out there. Maybe if I have a really good race in my, or if I say I have something coming up in Forza Motorsport, they actually have live events, and I may record those. We'll see what happens. I've never raced multiplayer on a console game, So, well, I shouldn't say that. I used to race with my friends. Me and like 5 of my other buddies used to get on, and we'd race. This is all the way back when like Grid, the original Grid game came out. We would race on that, and we'd do long race. That was a lot of fun. But that was like, shoot, I want to say that's before YouTube even existed. So, I haven't raced multiplayer like that in console games since then. And I always knew the people I was racing against, so it was lots of laughs and jokes, and no one took it seriously. But I just saw tonight on Twitter that Forza has actual races where you qualify for them during the week, and then you run them. And this race is, I think, C-Class, so I might do the first one, record it just to record it, but actually... And I don't care where I finish. It's just a matter of, if it's poor quality of racing, I'm not going to put it on YouTube. But I always said that I won't put anything on YouTube. Anything I put on YouTube that's not my current series will be an extra video. I won't take a video away. So right now I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday videos. If I did one of those Forza races, that video is going to come out on Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday. You know, it'll be an extra video, and that's how it'll always be. If I put anything out there that's not the normal racing series I'm working on, being the series not being... It's so funny, every time you talk about it, you have series such as the Truck Series, the Cup Series, Xfinity Series. I'm talking about the entire video series that I'm doing. And I won't take those videos away to replace them with another video during the week, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm talking a lot to say you may get some extra content every once in a while of races I'm doing that are unrelated to the video series I am working on. That's a lot of words just to try to say that, but I hope you all followed along. More content, maybe for free. That's what I'm trying to say. We got 34 left in the race, 6 left in the tank. Got a nice lead. Problem is when we stop, my big concern obviously comes to other cars will be stopping later than us. And we need to... How did we do this time? Oh, yeah, we did a lot better on our tires this time. Last time when we had 6 ago, we were in the dark red on our front right, so we did a lot better. We need to pray that... well, I shouldn't say that. The last time we pit, we didn't lose a whole lap either, so we might be able to get on to our pit stop and get off and not lose the lap. So we might be all right. We got 5 in the tank. Once I get off the last time... Low on fuel. Bro, I've got 5 in the tank. What is he talking about? Anyway, when I get off the track this next time, when I come back on, we're going to speed it up. If I'm in the lead, for sure we'll speed it up until there's like 5 left in the race. If I'm not in the lead, we'll just drive and talk while we try to catch up. We're putting a lot of cars a lap down, though, that are... Like, I don't think Ryan Newman was a lap down. We're going to put him a lap down shortly here. I'm not a big fan of him. Why is he saying that? I got 4 in the tank. I'm feeling like I want to pit now. 3 in the tank. Okay, it's doing that thing. All right, we're going to pit this time around. Yep, we're out of fuel. It's messing with me. We're out of fuel. All right. Crap. I should have listened to him, but...
Clear high.
Here we are. It says we have 3 in the tank, but we're sputtering, so we're just going to come out. We had enough fuel in the tank to get us around at least.
You're low on fuel.
Wow.
Slow down.
We're fine. All right, well, that ended up doing whatever it did. We might as well put full fuel in. It doesn't matter. I don't even know. We'll put full fuel in. I don't know how many laps are left. There's Rusty Wallace coming out behind us. We got enough to get us through. He obviously had a much shorter pit stop than we did because he was...
Car high.
He just probably got gas or maybe gas in right sides. We went full.
Car high. You're all clear.
I want to... Chris Enoch here, and I... Don't stay on the inside, fool. I'm so far ahead of you. It's annoying.
Still there.
Yep, we're a lap down. And I want to say that we're a lap down to Bobby Labonte right there, so we just need to get in front of him. Some cars are already pitting. We had that happen to us a few seasons ago at Kansas, I think in the truck series, where it said we had like 3 in the tank, and we went around the track once, and all of a sudden we had 1 in the tank, and we were sputtering out, and it made no sense, but it doesn't matter anymore. We have enough to get us through the rest of the race, and 28 to go. We probably could have put less fuel in, but it doesn't matter. We are where we are now, and if everything does cycle through, we're 3.5 seconds in front of second place. And honestly, he shouldn't he shouldn't be all gripped up. We should be able to drive away from him. I know he did not get full service. I really wish it would tell me who is the leader, but it's not what's happening. And we got triple-digit cars pitting right now. Well, it'll tell me if he's the one in front of me, and it'll say leader is pitting now if he pits anytime soon. They're not going to, though. They're not going to pit for like 20 laps. They're the ones that pit under caution. Well, I can't say 20 laps. It was only a handful of laps after we pit that they pit, come to think of it.
Still there. All clear.
Okay. Skinner up in the wall, it looked like, but he seems to be okay. Yeah, he's okay. We are taking seconds off the cars that are in front of us because they aren't driving on as good of equipment as we are. So that's a big deal. Did I just damage my front? No, I didn't.
All clear.
Yeah, we've taken a few seconds off of Stewart's lead over us. He hasn't even pit yet.
Still there.
We're tight off,
All
though.
clear.
Yeah, tight. Well, I might have been going pretty fast when I did that, come to think of it. I just want to get around Labonte to find out if he is the one, in fact, that's the leader. I feel like he is, though. Oh, I would have run right through him. Actually, the best thing I can do is find out right here.
Stay high. Still there.
Yep, he is. Okay, he's the leader. We just have to get in front of him, and then if a caution comes out, it doesn't matter. Because even if they pit, we just go into first place. Oh, I screwed that one up, though.
Still there.
Drive down on him. Drive down in his way. Oh, really? Okay, so that's a good example. Back in the day, I just would have run in the back of the Fanta car. And that time we didn't. We were patient, knowing that even if we weren't going to get in front of Labonte there, we would live to drive another corner, but I messed that corner up, so he might get me on the inside here. Suck. 13 seconds, so we've already... Yeah, we are flying up on Stewart here. And Burton, for that matter. A couple seconds every few laps we've gone up. I haven't really been paying attention because I was trying to get in front of Labonte, which I did. We're back on the lead lap now. And the funny thing is, we're back on the lead lap, and Rusty Wallace is almost 6 seconds back. He is not on the lead lap, and if a caution were to come out, well, he wouldn't get his lap back. Not that it's going to happen, but it could.
There's a spin in turn 1.
Well, I don't know if that spin's going to bring out a caution.
Still there. All clear.
It's not. Oh, we got a car right here. There we go. He seems to be back in order and okay.
Stay low. Still there.
Took another couple seconds off of Stewart and Burton.
All clear.
Oh, Burton, or Junior's in the pit. Get that spot back with ease. He's just now coming off a pit road, so we're going to have a huge lead over him. We already have a big lead over Wallace, 6.7 seconds left. What did he say, 20 to go? I think he did. Yes, he did. Wow.
Car high.
All right.
You're all clear.
Oops, keep it together.
Car low.
All right, there we go. We're picking up some spots now, back in the top 10. Stewart, 10 seconds in front of us instead of, I think he was 17 seconds in front of us when we came out of pit road. So, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's just at the end of his run. His car is not nearly what it was, and we are in a pretty good spot.
Stay high. Still there.
He's also on pit road now. So is Mark Martin,
You're all clear.
Gordon, 4th place, 3rd place. We've got Labonte 27 seconds in front of us. He's going to have to pit soon. Kurt Busch 19 seconds in front of us. He'll be pitting soon as well. 7-second lead over Rusty Wallace. We'll stay out until those two pit, or not stay out, but we'll keep it at normal speed until those two pit. Once they pit, though, looks like Labonte just pit. Looks like Busch just pit. Butch is actually coming off of pit road right now. No, Labonte is. Okay.
All clear.
So we're going to go ahead then.
clear.
We got the lead back. We've got a nice big lead over everybody, it would appear. So we're going to go ahead and speed things up for you. And we'll be back on the mic with just a handful of laps left, maybe 2 laps
Car low.
left, unless
Clear
something
low.
changes beforehand.
Clear high.
All right, we got 3 laps to go. I'm watching the Thursday night football game above this screen, and that's when I ran into the wall. I was looking up at the extra point that went off the goalpost, and I missed my breaking point. We're fine. We have a 10-second lead on 2nd place. Bobby Labonte tried to put Tony Stewart a lap down just for the sake of doing it. It's definitely going to help us in the standings for this. Well, I mean, we already had a near 300-point lead over Stewart, and he's in 2nd place. But it's still going to give us a nice little
All clear.
boost, considering we just put him a lap down. I'd be surprised. He might be in the top 10, but I'm not sure.
Clear high.
Got some cars that thought they could make it on gas and weren't able to, pitting now. Is that? Oh, no,
Last
it's not.
lap.
On to the last lap of the race. 11-second lead over 2nd place. And then a huge lead over 3rd. Well, 3rd place, 13-second, but a huge lead over 4th and 5th place and everybody behind. In this race, aside from 2 cautions right after everybody pit, actually close to the 2nd pit stop, I should say, we didn't have any other excitement for the race caution-wise, and we come out with another victory in a row. And that's huge for this team, organization, and, of course, the final season here in Dirt to Daytona. Top 5, Tony Savoy, Bobby Labonte, Rusty Wallace, Dave Blaney, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Tony Stewart finishes one lap down in 13th place. Tony Savoy already in first place in the standings, widen the margin between first and second with a victory at New Hampshire. Savoy with 13 wins this season now leads Tony Stewart by 336 points in the standings. 13 wins, 15 tops, 5s this season, and our next race is at one of my, well, let's be honest, as you've seen this series, they're all one of my favorite tracks, but Dover International Speedway up next in the series. But folks, that is going to do it for this episode. I do want to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And until next time, and of course, as always, you take care.